The city's charting a new course for the ferry system. The Economic Development Corporation unveiled its new map with some routes aimed at shortening commutes, expanding service, and cutting costs. The redesign features 2 new ferry landings. There's one in East Harlem and one at Sunset Park. It also links Staten Island's St. George stop to Brooklyn and connects the Rockaways directly to Midtown. Andrew Kimball is with us, President and CEO of the New York City Economic Development Corporation, which runs the ferries. Good morning.
Great to be here.
I tried to boil the news down to 20 seconds there. Did I get mostly there?
You nailed it.
What's behind these changes to the ferry routes? Part of it obviously is continuing to expand the system and make it more usable.
Yeah, this is really a good news moment for New Yorkers and transit and getting people to work, but also out on the waters to recreate. New Yorkers love their ferry service. Ridership has exploded to 7.4 million people, the largest ridership on any public ferry service in the country. And what this route optimization allows us to do is to get people to where they want to work more efficiently. So when you show up at a landing, say on the Brooklyn side of the East River, you know you can get to East 34th Street or Pier 11, 2 of our major job centers, without having to go to a lot of other stops along the way. If you're coming from South Brooklyn and you want to get to those job centers, you don't need to switch. Plus, it addresses, as you noted, longstanding interest by Staten Islanders in being able to go directly from St. George over to Brooklyn. So many links between Brooklyn and Staten Island. Or folks who are in Soundview in the Bronx being able to take a 1-seat ride all the way to the Rockaways with a number of stops along the way.
You know, we've got this story on the air this morning about the Pokey and Schleppy bus awards.
Yeah.
And the one concern that the Strap Hangers campaign has is unreliable service is a challenge because you don't know when the next bus is coming.
Yeah. The ferries are different than that.
Well,
they're meant to be different than that.
Right. Are you able to keep frequency up and consistent so that if I'm standing out there in the wind at the ferry landing that I know that the boat's going to be there?
We have a 94% on-time record, but because of the demand, often there are long lines to get on,
like
right?
More than the boat can
More
hold.
than the boat can handle, 250 people on a boat. So we have looked at those most successful landings and made sure that we have more boats coming through them to address that issue of waiting online. And then by understanding their patterns of where folks have been going, we are going to get them there faster. And in many cases, that means going to East 34th Street or to Pier 11. East 34th Street, we're going to make major investments in the infrastructure there for more landing berths and for better queuing.
And then what about the ferries themselves? Any improvements to go along with the changed routes?
The ferries are still relatively new. They were purchased and built around 2017. We're now retrofitting them for biodiesel to bring down their carbon footprint. We are looking everywhere we can for grant opportunities to electrify some of them. I was in Oslo, Norway last year where they run an all-electric ferry service and also a very impressive port that we learned a lot of lessons for the Brooklyn Marine Terminal on. So we want to over time convert to even greener, cleaner ferry service.
You're hinting at another big project for the Economic Development Corporation in the Marine Terminal. You are here under Mayor Adams. We've got the Mamdani administration coming in. Have you had conversations with them? Will you continue in your role?
Well, look, we think in decades, not in 4-year cycles. That's one of the amazing things about EDC. Generational projects to diversify our economy, strengthen it, big projects like the Brooklyn Marine Terminal that cover multiple administrations. I'm really optimistic that because of a project like the Brooklyn Marine Terminal focused on bringing affordable homes to Brooklyn, where we desperately need them, 2,400 at 60% of AMI, that is very, very affordable, plus a new focus on getting trucks off of our roads, increasing economic development because goods can flow more quickly and moving them by water while creating jobs. All of those things are really important. Like a lot of New Yorkers, I've been inspired by the mayor-elect's focus on affordability. Things like making childcare more accessible, those things are good for the economy. But prosperity and affordability go hand in hand, in my view. You need to grow the economy so we can pay for really smart investments like childcare.
But the hope is that the
support New Yorkers.
initiatives that EDC has going will continue.
Absolutely.
And are there conversations active on?
There are.
on that?
We are beginning transition materials right now and conversations. And what every mayor typically finds with EDC, because we have a broad toolkit on how we can drive economic growth, is that they come to us and we help them fulfill their campaign promises and goals. So we're really excited to partner with the incoming administration.
If there was one thing that you think is the number one thing on your plate right now that you want to make sure continues, what is it?
Well, we have over 400 projects, but I will go back to
the child that you love the most.
I'm going to go back to two. The Brooklyn Marine Terminal, which is so key as it relates to Blue Highway and getting trucks off of our roads, and the Hunts Point Food Distribution Center, where we're also investing over $2 billion in food supply to the city while moving goods by water in between those two locations. That will be transformative for New Yorkers over time.
You have 400 projects?
We do.
It's a lot. I'm glad you made time for us this morning. Thank you for coming in.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.